Welcome back to Wilson's Reviews, and today I'm going to review one of the first few movies of 2017, although this one came out in 2016. I'm going to review it now. I'm going to review Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, a film I have been anticipating for 2016. I've also been anticipating this as this is quite a different film than normal. It is a very different film. It is definitely the story before Star Wars, you can say. So it's like a story before what what made Star Wars. So I guess a prequel from the original movies. So this is the story of Star Wars before it became Star Wars. Well, that's why they call it Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So, what is Rogue One about? Well, first up, before we get to that, the film is made by Disney Motion Pictures. It is directed by Gareth Edwards, who also did the Godzilla 2014 movie. I have reviewed that, and I have based my opinion on that film. And the style of Gareth Edwards is okay, but he can do a lot of different things with main characters that I will get into in this film about. Now, let's talk about what the film is about. The film is about Jyn Erso, who starts off as a little girl who has a father who is forced to work for the Empire, helping them create none other than the Death Star. And her mission along the way is, I guess, meeting the right people in the Rebel Alliance and somehow working with them to try and find her father and trying to see if in getting him out of the Empire's control so that they can't make the Death Star. Although it's kind of a bit more to it, and then it leads you on to a later story that you find out. But what I'm going to say is I'll mainly give you a little point is that their main job in the film is to try and retrieve later on the Death Star plans. Now, obviously, if you've watched the first Star Wars, you know what this Star Wars is talking about. So this is the story of how those plans were stolen in New Hope. So that makes it very interesting. So, is the story good? Does it tell that story well? Yes. It tells the story quite well. It tells the story of her father having no choice but to be the prisoner to the Empire because he realizes if he doesn't be that guy that creates it, he will let the Empire do it, and the Empire will make him like a Death Star that is just unkillable. Whereas there will be a spoiler that you guys have probably already know that from the first Star Wars film, if you have seen it, that there is only one way you can kill the Death Star, and funny enough, in that spoiler, you find out how it was that happened, and you'll find out who did it. So I'm not going to tell you who did it, only because I don't want to wreck the story for you. You might be interested to watch this film. Is it a good film overall? Yes. The characters are good and fun at times. K2SO is an awesome robot, and he provides a lot of the humor in the movie. Jyn Erso is a great female lead character, very powerful character. She does it her own way. There are other great characters in it, a lot of good supporting characters and actors that do excellent in this film. The only problem with these guys is that if you compare older Star Wars films, like the Bonds, like your Chewie, like your Han, like your Leia, like your C-3PO, your R2-D2, your Luke, those 6 people, right? How much of a bond did they have? Quite a big bond. They were very good friends with each other. They were really happy to always see each other. They're always happy to work with each other. Leia and Han's relationship did grow at the start from the beginning to the end, but in this one, unfortunately, you just don't get that bond with Danny Yen's character and his best friend. You kind of get that feeling they have that connection, like they're best friends, and they do have that bond, but not necessarily. They have more of a relationship than Jin Erso's character to her to the other pilot, rebel leader pilot, who leads the mission to go find Galen Erso, her dad. So yeah, that was probably my part of my problem with the film, just a little bit of the character development. They could have been a bit more stronger friends, just so that when things happened, it was more impactful. You will understand why if you watch this film. If you intend to watch it, I do recommend you watching it. If you want to watch it in cinemas, if you love Star Wars, this is a cool Star Wars film. It is not a lightsaber film. You're not going to see too many lightsabers in this film. You will see a lot of cool combat action. It's pretty much like a Star Wars war film. It's about them going on a mission, doing and trying to complete that mission, and the odds seem very hard for them to do that, and they end up completing the mission in what seems like they couldn't really do it, but they end up pulling it off somehow. And yeah, what else can I talk about this film? Well, let's get the negs out of the way first, so quickly. The film can be a bit slow to start. At the start, just the start, really. Like, it just builds up really slow. It gets there. And then, while it does this, it changes locations quite a lot. So, it changes where these people are. It's like, okay, we're on this planet now. Now we're on this planet. Now we're on this planet. Now we're on this planet. It's like, look, just stop and just slow down. And when they start just staying on one planet for longer than 10 minutes, then it makes much more sense. And the stories start to actually make more sense. It starts to get rolling. You're like, okay, finally the story's getting on. Yeah, so that was one of the few problems. Some of the CGI spots, just for people's faces, they had to CGI the commander's face that talks to the director of building the Death Star. At many times they had to CG his face, and it just seemed a bit funny at times, only because he was on screen quite some time. It wasn't like Leia Organa's CGI spot, where it was a lot quicker. It was only a 10-second spot, but yeah, you'll figure that out. What else can I talk about this film? Okay, let's get into goods. So that was just the negs. I had to get the negs out of the way. The goods. The action is excellent. In the last act, the third act, the action is awesome. This space battle is great. They go with like single X-wing attack, like just shots. Like just they go in through each pilot, and you can see each pilot taking shots, and then they pan to the next pilot, and then watch him shoot, and then the next pilot, and it's just awesome the way they just direct the camera shots with each of the CGI spots is great, and it's excellent, and the locations are excellent in the film. They pick excellent locations. They're very beautiful locations, and it is just practical effects are excellent. They're just really great, and you just feel like you're in a war film, and it really feels like a cool like film in that retrospect. The characters are also good in many ways. You do feel lots of feelings for the characters, just not as strong as like the original Star Wars characters, but you still have respect for them, just not enough. What else can I say? Oh man, and just my favorite part, by far my favorite part, Darth Vader comes back. I'm sorry, I gotta spoil it. He does come back because they have shown in the trailers. He comes back and he is a badass again. I cannot say how more cool Darth Vader is, and seeing him back on the big screen again, doing what he does, and he just legitimizes himself as the greatest villain of all time, and you will always just remember, damn, that character was really good. I love this film, guys. It was a great film. It were problems that with characters, just with emotionally, but I don't think that wrecks the film. I still was able to sit and enjoy it. You can still enjoy this film and feel like it's an excellent Star Wars film. And isn't it a clever one too? Tells a great story. So I'm going to give Rogue One a Star Wars story an 8 out of 10. It is a good film if you want to spend the money to go see it at the cinema. Sorry, go see it at the cinema, and you will not be disappointed. Anyway, thank you again for supporting my videos. I hope you enjoy this one. Like it if you like this review. Watch more if you want to, and share if you feel like it. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you soon with the next review. Bye.